serious? If you had taken your life 1 year ago, what beautiful things would you have had missed out on? My wonderful friends and helping 7 beautiful dogs learn to live a new life. My brother did last June, and he missed out on Kingdom Hearts III, the next entry in his favorite video game franchise that he waited for since 2006. I bought it and I played it on his behalf, but I suck at it. My brother was also a massive Toronto Raptors and basketball fan, and my mother and I watched the finals and had no idea what to feel when they won. That's the stuff that really gets you. The stuff you knew your loved one would have hit their pants with excitement on. My advice for anyone going through depression: you can always die later. You are going to die someday. The world will make sure of it. So you don't need to take on the anxiety and burden of ending your own life. But you can only live right now. So, why not stick around for a few decides and see what happens? Procrastinating death is the best use of the skill. Honestly, nobody can tell you procrastination is a negative quality if it's what keeps you alive. It gives me comfort to know that I don't have to be here or do this forever. It gives me comfort to know that I don't have to take my death into my own hands. I've suffered from depression and crippling anxiety for about 12 years myself. And what keeps me going? It's the little things. I always pick something, anything, to look forward to. A new show or movie, a new game. I follow tennis and enjoy that. Vacations or visits from family members. Family is everything, and the little things that you like make up who you are, and no one can tell you your interests are small or worthless. Because you like them and they make you happy, and that's good enough. So just keep looking for the next thing to look forward to. And hold on tight no matter how strong the winds of depression become. Don't let go. You can weather the storm as long as you maintain hope that tomorrow can be better than today. I took my son to the state fair. I took him on his first ride on the tilt-a-whirl. It's my favorite ride. We giggled and screamed and laughed. We did it again 4 times. We had our caricatures drawn together. He told me it was the best day. I really loved it. Literally nothing. This has been a pretty year, but not in a no hope for the future sense. Parents have been ill. Work has sucked, and an ex who I'm still on friendly terms with had an awful family tragedy. I wouldn't have missed much yet, but I'd miss out on the better times to come. Meeting a lot of new friends, that keeping my friend from doing suicide. Keeping that same friend and believing her when there are major rumors that aren't fair being spread about her. Edit. The mom is the reason for he almost doing suicide. She puts her through verbal abuse. The rumors are still going on, and I've heard a lot about them from her friends who do believe her. It's being spread by a girl who was a good friend of ours, but her and my friend got into an argument. Edit. NVM, screw her, she just dumped our friendship for a YouTuber that she liked or never even talked to or had any contact to. Literally nothing. But killing myself would mean handing the sitch of an earth the win. If she wants me dead, she's gonna have to duck and do it herself. My graduation and seeing my mom being proud of me. Edit. Thank you kind strangers for my very first awards. I really gotta tell my mom about this, haha. Summer and fall. That's basically it. Edit 1. Wow, 8k. My life actually starting. Realizing I'm not as everyone tried to make me believe I was my whole life. Confronting the reality that I live with severe CPTSD. And by live I mean I kick life's ass and don't let it ruin me. I stood up against 2 abusers. One is now on probation for 2 years. And I got everything I'd said would make me more comfortable if he took the plea deal. The other being my mom. And I feel more empowered in our strange relationship. She's my best friend. My main source of trauma. And also exhibits many characters of someone with antisocial personality disorder, as in all of them. I got off my psych meds. Have the best job I've ever had. Found direction in terms of my education career goals and will be starting school again in the fall. I am settling into my own home. First time living independently. I'm making actual friends for the first time in my life, with one gigantic exception. I have a kitty that I love. I'm addressing my physical health. And I'm clearly at a place in my life recovery that indicates I'm starting the rest of my life. Also, come the 11th, I've made it to 30 years old. Life has never been this beautiful. Long post TLDR at the bottom. Was suicidal for a long time. Still have the thoughts on a daily basis but finding ways to cope. This last year has been a roller coaster. January I dropped out of first year of university in a forensic science program. Due to inability to afford university education even after OSUP, I started working minimum wage general labor jobs to support myself and family, which is in major debt. In May I found a non-profit organization that gave basic 3-month IT certification program. In September got a 3-month paid internship with the city of Toronto. Unfortunately my internship ends tomorrow as 3 months have passed. Feeling depressed as hell as I enjoyed my work and friendly staff. But my life has a bit of hope left. If I ended it earlier I wouldn't be able to discover my interest in IT as well as be able to build my first gaming PC, which I sold to regain costs. TLDR. Dropped out from uni. Work minimum wage jobs. Did IT certification and found an interesting and rewarding experience. Edit. Wow, this really blew up. Thanks again for all the kindness and support from all of you. I have tried to address all your responses and thanks again for the anonymous silver. I am still new to the whole Reddit thing, so thanks again to the community. Getting to hear my daughter call me mommy and come up to me and give me hugs and kisses at random. Life does get better and I'm glad I'm here for it. I would have missed the Joker film. 3.5 months ago, I loaded some camping gear onto the back of my bicycle and left my home in Wisconsin with the vague goal of getting to Seattle and heading down the Pacific coast. 104 days and 4,000 miles later, I have seen some absolutely beautiful parts of the country. I've learned a ton about myself and grown as a person. And most importantly, I have seen time and time again the overwhelming kindness of the world we live in. I don't know what it is about it, but for some reason, traveling by bicycle just brings out the absolute best in everyone I meet. From the unending generosity of the people who have opened their homes to me, providing my a shower and bed, food and their wonderful company over dinner, to the drivers who saw me stopped on the side of the desolate Wyoming roads and pulled up to offer an extra water bottle when I was a million miles from a gas station soda dispenser. Everybody wants to be a positive part of my story. In this day and age, we seem to focus way too much on the hate in the world, but thankfully, the hateful among us are nothing more than a vocal minority. I deeply believe that this world we share is a kind one, and that we all want the best for each other, and that, to me, is far more beautiful than the mountains of Montana or a sunset over the Pacific Ocean. Are you okay? By the way, the title is concerningly specific. What with you mentioning suicide in particular and not more generally just dying? Meeting my wonderful girlfriend and falling in love with her. Buying my own newly constructed home as a single woman when I believed I'd only be able to afford it if I got married. Whoa, this hit me really hard. My daughter attempted suicide on the 18th of December, 2018. It literally does change everything. The thought of having to live without her is unfathomable. Every single day since then has been beautiful, a gift. Even the bad days, and there have been quite a few, all beautiful. Nothing. My friend passing today, my ex-girlfriend trying to ruin my life, losing my best friend to said ex, car lost an accident, fired from my job. I just can't find the courage to hurt my parents. Half-Life, Alex. Not a joke. I'm 17 and not much else interesting has happened recently. If I weren't here today I would have missed out on the next game in the series that sparked my love of PC gaming. It's not really as profound as the other stuff on here, but it's important to me. If I'm being perfectly honest, not too much. I guess Under the Covers Vol. 3 and Death Stranding. But it hasn't been a spectacular year. Seeing my daughter eat for the first time. She was born premature. She has a tube in her stomach. Didn't take anything by mouth. She just turned 19 months. We worked with a speech therapist for a year before she had the ability to take a bite. Baby steps. I'm hoping in another year she'll be drinking on her own. The joys of marching band. Nothing comes to my mind. A great guy to be in a relationship with that makes me so happy. Having a best friend. Someone who truly cares about me and wants to hear my problems. Also, another friend of mine had a child. and I get to go to their house sometimes and get baby snuggles. Almost 3 years ago, I chased a ton of Xanax with some wine. I was tired of my brain. Diagnosed bipolar, PTSD. I just couldn't live with myself anymore. I didn't think it would ever get better. Luckily I lived, even though I wasn't happy about it at the time. I started seeing my doctor more often. He finally found a medicine combo that worked, made some major life-changing choices. A little over a year after that attempt, I met my now husband. We have been married almost 2 years now. We have traveled so many great places, made amazing memories, and are soon moving across the country. It's super scary to think I would have missed out on all of this if I was successful. I would have missed nothing. This year for me has been the worst in my entire life. Everyone I knew died or moved away. I became depressed. Isolated myself. If my life had ended last year, I would have at least died happy. Every night I dream that 2019 had never happened, and everyone was still alive and happy. The problem is that I wake up. Nothing, things just get worse. Absolutely nothing. Oh wait. I would have missed out on the $20,000 bill for a 6-day stay at a mental ward. I would have missed my entire friend group that I have now by only less than a month. Having a girlfriend that would make my life much better. Broke up, but is my best friend now. And overall experiences that made me the boy I am today. A friend of mine kept telling me to watch her favorite TV show, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and I finally did. And I really liked it. Relevant to this discussion, one of the themes that recurs in the show is failing to see that you have friends and people who care about you, and feeling more alone than you really are. Absolutely nothing of interest, but I would have missed my ex leaving me, my beloved cat getting hit by a car and die, a lot of miserable dates, the death of my uncle, how it feels running low on money, my 7 weeks in clinic, lot of back pain, my depression getting really bad, how it feels to fall apart because of age, just to name a few. I do not like this question. I feel mocked. Nothing really. Watching Studio Ghibli films in a huge theater? This question makes me sad. I read The Well of Time. It was good. Finally being myself, a girl, at family Thanksgiving. The normality of it all was practically overwhelming. My baby, who is due next week. I went to the zoo a couple weeks ago and it was really cool. Really liking the new Pokemon game too. Less minor. I just turned 16. I'm seeing a therapist. I'm on testosterone and I don't want to rip my skin off anymore. I'm in the process of being diagnosed with autism and my dad's super understanding about it. My mom's not, but I don't really give a it. I'm on vitamin D supplements and I'm not as constantly tired as I used to be. I realized my cat is bonded to me and I'm pretty sure we both mean the world to each other. I'm getting good grades in school and it feels pretty epic. It's been 2 months since I've cut myself. Not really a long time, but it feels like it, and I still get urges, but I threw away the razor in my room and I haven't regretted it. The past year's been wild, but I'm pretty glad to be alive. Since I mentioned my cat, here's a bunch of pictures of her and my dog. I love them both so much. Nothing. LMAO shoulder done it when I had the chance. Duck nothing now I think about it and I'm not even joking. Nothing. RN my life slowly going downhill. Being pregnant and growing this child inside me. I've never done this before and I'm very glad to experience it. Such a blessing. Well, not a year ago, but if I would have killed myself when I wanted to and was considering it, I never would have got to meet my niece. Having my 3 kids, as annoying as they are and as stressful as they can make me, I'm truly grateful to have them and experience being a parent to 3 very different kids. Along with me being so young, they did teach me things about myself I hadn't thought I was capable of. Meeting the woman I'm currently dating. All my previous relationships were long distance ones, so she is the first woman I actually go out with. Even if the rest of my current life sucked, which it doesn't, I'd still think would be worth it. Update: she just dumped me. Small compared to some of the other replies on here, but I thought I'd share my answer. I was in a bad place around this time last year, and for the first time put real thought into ending my own life. After some therapy I obviously never went through with it. And man am I glad. The main reasoning for the depression I felt last year was how I just didn't fit in. I had friends in school, but that's it. I never did anything outside of school for the most part. Lots of Friday nights and weekends sitting at home, watching TV or playing video games with tears in my eyes. I was so frustrated with my lack of social skills, and I was intensely jealous of others. On one particularly bad day I told myself that things would improve, or I would kill myself. Those were the only two options in my mind. Fast forward 1 year later. Yesterday was my birthday as well as one of my best friend's Friendsgiving celebration. Me and almost 40 of my closest friends got together for a fantastic time. I was happier than I had ever been. Now I'm sitting in bed, dozing off, and I saw this post. I burst into tears thinking about everything I would have missed. Homecoming, my driver's license, my first car, a soccer district championship, college scholarships, prom, a vacation in Europe, Christmas, birthdays, weddings, and more. I'll end this story with a cliche registered sign, but it is unbelievably true. Life gets better. Perhaps not in ways we are expecting, but it does. Life is like a roller coaster, ups and downs, fast and slow. Hell, it even has some loops and corkscrews. Just enjoy the ride. Transitioning, my current partner, acceptance of myself, escaping my abuser. Never would have joined drama club, robotics, or I never would have realized that I was gay. 1 year ago. Well, nothing. Honestly, there's been absolutely nothing really so interesting brought into my life. This is serious. Nothing at all. My first kiss with an amazing guy. Graduating high school and starting college. My whole relationship with my boyfriend. Leaving the cult that made me miserable. Coming out to myself as pansexual. Learning to paint again. Moving out. Learning and performing my hardest piano piece so far. Sibelius Romance in DB Major Op 24, if any of y'all were wondering. Learning calligraphy lettering. Watching Parks and Rec for the first time. My first concert ever. Going to therapy and gaining confidence in myself for the first time. Being the most mentally healthy and happy I've ever been. This question hits home because about a year ago I was super close to taking my life. I'm so glad I got the help I needed and that I'm still alive. Life is sometimes still frustrating and difficult, but I am able to see all the good things now. I would have missed out on so much. Man, I've had a pretty rough year, but even so, I'm glad that I at least still have a shot to have a better year going forward, and that's kinda beautiful. Hearing my little girl call me mama for the first time, playing board games and dress up with my oldest, getting a job promotion, and many kisses from my husband. I'm gonna be honest, none. Absolutely nothing worth notice. Half-Life coming back. That's about it. I would have missed Avengers Endgame. Can't remember anything else though. Falling in love. Except I never got to be with her, so I could have gone without that pain. 2 deployments. I actually can't think of anything good I needed to be here for. I liked a girl for 3 years and finally got to go on a few dates with her over a month's time. That was cool. She said she doesn't see a future with me, but I can't deny how good that month felt. Honestly, nothing. I lost the job I love. I dropped out of my college. I have no idea what I want to do with my life, and it's been overall an uneventful year. I don't mean to sound like that guy, but really nothing happened beside a downhill slope. Honestly, nothing I can think of. Now I'm depressed. This year wasn't that great, but getting engaged would be one. My girlfriend and I had just had a picnic near the Eiffel Tower and were headed back to where we were staying. As we waited for the train, a family came in and sat across from us, on the other side of the tracks, and started playing some music. The song September came on. My girlfriend pulled me up from the bench, and we started dancing. I'm not very good myself, but she's a great leader. Meanwhile, the family across from us started to get a little into it, doing a little dance in their seats. When the song ended, the family clapped for us. We started laughing and took a bow. The train came not long after that, and as we boarded and sat down, I looked to the family, waving goodbye, and returned the gesture. It was so brief and pure. I will never know anything about those people except a shared memory of a delightful encounter between complete strangers, late at night in the Paris underground. Dang, I feel like this is fate. Exactly 1 year ago I was in the hospital after a suicide attempt, and it's been on my mind lately. If I had succeeded, I would have never fixed my relationship with my parents or experienced true love again, or even the little joy of feeling my very own cat purring next to me. It's still a struggle most days, but life really is beautiful and I'm really glad I'm still here.